It is a world of darkness. The sin of Cain has spawned the cursed horror that stalks the night in search of living blood. The kindred have long been a secret influence through all ages of human history, plotting against each other in a never-ending jihad. Their immortal progeny are among us to this day, hidden from the eyes of humanity by an elaborate masquerade.
I have a bad connection most nights.
eat 3 times a day.
I'm a little too good at eating, period.
Yeah.
Yeah,
saying.
amen, sister.
I'm also an expert at eating.
When I get antsy, I eat 4 to 5 times a day.
Shut up, Todd.
Okay.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Oh, poor Georgie.
Ding, George.
The garden hose sounds so pastoral.
I used to drink from a garden hose. That's nothing. Drinking from a fire hose, I can rip off your face.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
Oh, right. I was going to say, which last game?
Yes.
Yeah, and I can legally now
Chronologically
hold your
last.
hand.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Hold hands again. Yeah.
Sorry.
Jerome, did you make sure to unmute your mic? Just checking.
No, I did not.
Oh,
Thanks.
that's funny.
Oh, well.
We're going to have to start making a point to ask you when you
Yeah.
give us a thumbs up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, oh, well.
Jerome, give us a thumbs up if you're ready.
Yeah, I know. If I'm ready.
Whoops.
So at any rate, okay, so let me pull that back down. All right, so anywho, so that's only a couple minutes of the online game. It's lost. It's not a big deal. You guys all know what's going on. Henri, you have made it back to your haven. It's the Grand Time Junction, I think is what it was. The faux Chuck E. Cheese kids restaurant that you have
Five
now
Nights at Freddy's.
that you have now
Nightmares
called
at
your
Freddy.
haven. So as you pull up with Robert in your van, you see a big like F-350 sitting out front. It is candy apple red.
And I have met them, but just in passing.
Mhm.
I've only met this family one time, right? Okay.
Yeah. And so, I mean, at this point, Danny is out there. He's got himself like a toothpick. He's got a bag of burrito alarms sitting on top of the hood.
And I have his number now, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
because Lily gave it to you.
Right. So
It's
I
pretty
text
dark around
Robert.
here.
Well, I text Robert and I say to Robert, please make sure that he has his phone so I can text him to talk to him.
He says, "Oh, yeah, sure." And
Right,
so
so
you
then-
guys step out of the van at this point, and Danny's just kind of waiting there. He's dressed in a shirt that you could say was holy, but not for religious purposes. Probably because the shirt has seen more combat underneath his armpits than most people see in basic training.
Ew.
His pants are on his pants are designer, however, which means they've got some holes in it because that's apparently a thing. And he's just kind of camped out there, chomping down on a toothpick, doing his thing.
Get out of the van with Robert, and I motioned for Robert to, and I hold my phone out and I motioned for Robert to make sure that Danny's got his phone.
Okay. So as the two of you come walking, he's like, "Well, daggum, son, you sure did get your jaw ripped off. They didn't do nothing for your tongue, though. It's just all like kind of flapping around like a dog tail."
I bow. I'm like, I hold my phone up and I'm like, and I text to him, "Oh, Ashante, it's nice to meet you. Is it possible for you to have did you have a buddy?"
He says, "Oh, well, yeah, we done got a body. I only, brought like part of it. I told you we got mouse feed. But the important part here is in this here burrito alarm bag for you. Looking at the size and shape of your head, though, this is going to be an awkward fit. You ever see that movie, Tango and Cash?"
No.
You know what? It ain't nothing but a thing. Why don't you just not worry about that? I just got yourself a Conan jaw here. Just you're gonna look right manly with it.
I appreciate this. I go once my jaw is fixed and I am able to speak with you. I really would like to work with you and your family, and working with. I worked with leatherworking. I'm not sure if Zabaran has mentioned this to you. I need hands to do the work, and I have different forms of leather. And well, I'm just going to say as that I appreciate what you are doing with the buddies. If there is. I have the rats for pets and friends. If there is, I can work with you to get rid of the parts that you don't want. And also, I would like to work with training your family for the leather working.
So and he's watching you just like feverishly go away, with your fingers, texting. He looks over to Robert and he's like. Does that mean he has a lot to say or something? He just goes, yeah, just hang on. This is how he texts.
And I like how his phone texts with a French accent.
Right. Yeah.
So if you're interested to work with your family, if there's send. So
Okay. So he's like, okay, well, hang on a second here. Okay. You know, it's a good thing that I have some friends or I have a cousin or two who's Creole because I won't never know what the heck those little squiggly lines are. Is that what you call an umlaut? Uh, um, is that a semicolon that's out of place? Anyways, so it looks like you're wanting to work with us. Yeah, sure. We can outsource some of it and maybe get my other boys up here do something roundabouts. Since you can't talk and you have like I don't know, thumb time or whatever the heck you want to call it. Why don't I just talk to your boy here? We figure out the details. You work on getting the Conan jaw attached and healed, and then we'll figure it out from there. How's that?
merci, thank you.
Okay, so he hands you a bag and he's like, I don't know if you want to go doing this like around here. You may want to find like a dark corner or something to figure this out.
I'm going to start walking back. I thank him. I'm going to start walking towards the entrance to my haven. As I'm going, I'm going to open the bag and pull the head out to see what I'm looking at here.
Okay. Well, so have you seen the movie Tango and Cash?
It's been a long time. So
Okay.
I don't remember.
So for anybody who watches or Googles it, the guy is like this really big, beefy looking dude, and the running joke is that he's like a bad version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they say they loved him in Conan the Barbarian, and he's got this like really like big pronounced jaw with the big chin cleft action sort of going on.
Okay, I'm going to pull the head out and look at it and turn around and like just and then walk back. I've got the tools. I'm gonna remove the jaw, put it on me, and start healing at that point.
Okay.
How much do I have to spend to attach this?
You're gonna have to
jaw?
spend. It's good. We're treating it like it's aggravated damage. So you spend 3 blood and a willpower point.
Okay.
Now it doesn't match yet. Just letting you know.
It's gonna be a little loose, maybe.
It's going to look awkward because it doesn't obviously match your skin color, and size wise, it's a bit big for your head.
Okay.
Gonna laugh if his accent now changes with the jaw.
Oh, his accent will definitely change a little bit with the jaw. Yeah. I mean, he'll sound like a Frenchman, but but with like a
Well, I'm
major
saying
over.
maybe he won't sound French anymore.
God, I gotta work with that.
You know how a lisp.
You want that Oscar, don't you?
Gotta work on that.
I'm looking for that Oscar, baby.
Yeah.
French accent and a lisp. Go.
Oui, oui.
So I'm inside healing myself. I don't know how long this is gonna take.
Yeah. So it's taking a bit at this point. So hold off on that. So those of you who are at the train station or the train museum at this point, you guys have obviously all seen Henri leave. He's clearly got a thing, as Chevy Chase might say. He's got an appointment to go get to. You are all faced with Daxus still sitting here, stretched out across his table, staked.
Can someone clue me into what I'm looking at? Wasn't present for that.
Actually, you were. Oh no, you weren't. Never mind. I apologize. Yes,
We can have him show up late.
I'm assuming he probably did. Yes. So basically, the train museum on the inside looks. I don't want to say a mom and pop museum, but I mean it does look like it doesn't have a whole lot of funding to it. But it's nice. It's got a couple of outcroppings on the inside where you can probably have 15 or so people sit for converse or show and tell or whatnot. That's pretty much where everybody's kind of set up right now. And there's been a fold-out table that has been brought in, unfolded, kind of sitting down in here. And there is an individual of African persuasion stretched out across this table, who looks like he's been beat up quite a bit, dirty and everything. Like he got roughed up pretty bad, with a plank of wood shoved in his chest, right where his heart should be.
Which of the girls did that?
Um,
Why did I know it was one of you two?
Dahlia went on a mission with another Leannan and captured him and brought him to Ashland as a gift for the Baron.
Can't imagine what might have sponsored that action.
We're trying to find Damaris, and he knows where she is.
I see. So you're questioning Sabat.
Yeah, Damaris was questioning Sabat, and I think that's
Yeah,
why she was captured.
And Sophie has been prodding the mind.
Good luck with that one.
Oh, he's given us some interesting information, but he thinks he could be more useful to us on the other side of the stake.
Gee, go figure. Everyone thinks they could be more useful on the other side of the stake. No one wants to stay staked. Well, I shouldn't say that. Ben wanted to stay staked, but I can appreciate the sympathy, that emotion.
Circumstances,
Mm-hmm.
So what we know so far, just to recap, we have several locations. We know a few havens of the Sabat around town. We know where the entrances to the temple are. Unfortunately, they are warded, and we don't know how to get through the door. Apparently, only true Sabat can pass through. We know that this Bastion fellow was not the only Black Hand who was brought in to handle Damaris, who they have chained up, or staked and behind chained doors in the temple. They also have
the Inquisition.
Someone called Coach, and a member of the Inquisition called Black Wallace.
Oh, man. Okay. Got to drop back into character. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we all had that same. Well, those of us that knew who they were talking about had that same reaction.
Oh my.
We all went.
So you have someone in the Air Force, like a general,
You're trying so hard
who wants to lose a bunker buster somewhere in town, because that seems about the right level of what you're going to need to get in that temple.
But if we do something like that, it's going to take out Damaris too. That's the real trick here.
I don't know. You just said that the guy said he's behind another set of doors.
So Daxus here has offered to give us intel on the Archbishop's schedule in exchange for letting him go. He's amenable to helping us get Damaris out. Obviously, I mean, I put it to a vote and everyone said no.
Well, you do realize that about 48 hours from now, your information on their havens, et cetera, is going to be useless.
Fair enough.
That's a number one. I mean, you're talking about the most paranoid sect on the planet, bar none. He goes missing 48 hours from now. I doubt there's going to be a haven they're still using that, you know, they're just going to relocate, just like we would. If, say, Ben went missing, how many of us would be in the same haven 48 hours from now? None of us.
I mean, I would, but
Well, you live with the Giovanni, so you know. I'm pretty sure they think they can hold off the Sabbat if they had to.
well, I don't live with the Giovanni. I live with the sorcerer.
Yeah, well,
In my
they
home
have their own. She
county.
might hold her own for a while, but I'm not willing to bet on my life that she's going to last the whole night.
So, what do we want to do?
Well, if you have the assets, you start burning those places down tonight. You flush them out while you have the chance. If they don't have any place to go, they got to leave the area or find new havens. That means not picking on your people, number one, always a plus. Number two, whatever they lose, they've lost and have to replace. It still means they have to take their time up. And number three, hopefully, you just said they have a bishop here?
Archbishop.
Archbishop. Oh, goody. So like one of like 5 in their whole like would you set up? You think he's here by himself? Really? You think an archbishop is here by himself without a Sabbat bodyguard? Tell me no one's thinking he's by himself.
Well, don't they all travel in packs? I'm sure he's
That's what
probably
I'm
got a
saying. I
pack.
heard someone say the archbishop like it's no big thing. Well, it's the archbishop and what he uses for a bodyguard.
Which is him.
No, he does not just use himself as a bodyguard. I guarantee it.
I didn't say. I did not mean it like that. The one that we have on the table.
Yeah.
He's this Templar. That's what she said.
And that's relevant to how many bodyguards an archbishop's going to have.
I don't know. It's not my area of
Well,
expertise.
that's my point. That's my point. He's talking about a bishop. You have an archbishop, and he's not traveling by himself.
Well, sure. We got to take them all out. The question is, how do we do it so we can get them all quick?
I don't know that you can get them all quick. We're talking about...
We are looking at a total of about 13 to 15 Sabbat in Portland. Just FYI.
Now, is that... Okay, is that just one pack?
What is that? What?
Is that one pack? Is that like his pack and that's
no,
it?
That's about 4 packs, I think.
That's 15 for the entire city. Okay.
Seems a little off, truthfully.
According to Daxus's mind.
Right. Have we checked to see if he's lying about this stuff that you're getting from him?
Jerome, how sure am I of the information?
And Lily's had her auspex up this entire time because she's been watching him.
By normal means.
Well, you have been checking it. You have been checking him out with auspex. And last game we played in this session, in this particular scene, you were reasonably certain he's been truthful with you.
Right.
Well, the only reason I'm going to bring that up is we were reasonably certain that guy we went to meet the night of the wedding was being reasonably truthful with us. Unfortunately, he was being reasonably truthful wired to a bomb.
Yeah.
So you're saying someone could have dominated information out of him?
Not dominated out of him, but I have to tell you, if I was someone powerful in the Sabbat and I was going to a contested city, would I let anyone know the real details? No.
A lot of the details he has is because he's sneaky. He gets places where he's not supposed to be.
I understand. It just triggers my paranoia. I'm just being honest about it.
Well,
Oh,
I remember what happened last time we bought someone who's the Sabbat. I said, "Yep, you're telling us the truth because we used auspex."
And this is why you've lived so long. So that's commendable.
I'm just, but
So, how do we want to do this?
well,
What resources do we have?
I have a little bit.
And you seem to be the expert on them, so
I'm not an
I'm-
expert on
I'm-
them. You try living a couple hundred years and not picking up basics like. You're telling me there's 4 packs in here and there's only 15 Sabat. Last time I look, maybe Dale knows more than I do, but don't they go anywhere from 6 to 12 per pack?
There's
I
3
mean-
packs.
Yeah.
The Archbishop's pack, One Death to Die, and the Unbound.
So we're talking somehow 3 packs on the offensive, only numbered 12 vampires. That's the only point I'm
Is
going to make,
that-
and I'm going to stop talking about it.
Is that 13 to 15 number? Is that including the Archbishop and the coach, Bastion, and them?
I think it includes the Archbishop. I'm not sure if it includes the Black Hand and the Inquisitor.
Yeah. Like I said, I would start burning. I'd start going to the gasoline stations and
Okay, so
taking
let's
tankers and
back up a little. Do we go up there ourselves, or do we send someone else? Because
Well,
if
if we
can
go
do
up there
it
right
remotely,
now,
that's highly
we don't know.
preferable.
I mean, we don't know where they are right now. We know where they haven, but we know they're going to haven during the day. So it might make more sense to have some people hit their havens during the day if we're going to wait that long. Or if we know when they're going to meet up in their temple, we can get them all right then, in one go.
yeah. It's amazing how many sewer explosions happen in town sometimes. Just absolutely amazing.
Hey, wait a second.
We have a lot
Maybe
of explosives available,
We should
actually.
refocus. We need to get Damaris out.
alive. Well, as alive
Alive.
as we can be.
Preferably alive.
Well, then, why don't you swap for him?
Swap what?
You got this quote unquote quasi important Sabat here.
Do you know what? Do you know what a black tree is?
Who are you talking to? I'm sorry, Lily. I don't
You.
know offhand. I'm s-
Yeah. She's looking at you.
A black what?
Black tree.
Not offhand. I know there are varieties of trees that are black, but I don't think that's what you're referring to.
No, they're going to turn her into a black tree.
Oh, that. Well, yes. Very unpleasant.
Do you have any Sabat lore, Rebus?
No.
Okay. So
Out of
it's out of character, yeah. But so in character, yeah, you wouldn't understand the reference.
yeah, but he's lying.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, let's revisit the zombie plant idea.
The what?
Right. Yeah. How would you be able to do that? Like, what does that take?
Dahlia pulls some mushrooms out of her pocket. I just need to infect some vampires with this.
And how do you infect? Do you like throw those at them or what? How does
They
that
need
work?
to breathe it in.
Okay. Okay. They need to breathe it. So if you just left
Or
it
I guess
somewhere,
potentially they could eat them.
well, they're probably not going to eat. Let's be real. They're not going to eat them. But
No.
I mean, and they might not even really breathe them in either. I mean, it could eventually get into their nose or something. I mean, do you breathe normally? I don't breathe normally. I got to make myself breathe.
But we use air to push words through our larynx.
Well, that's true, I guess. Yeah. All right.
And you guys eventually start hearing a van pulling up outside.
A van?
Yep.
I don't like the sound of that.
I will peek out the window.
Okay. You see Robert climbing out, and you now see a slightly different looking Henri approaching. He does look happier.
smiling already. It's just Henri.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
surprised
that's
he's
fast.
out.
That's good.
Okay. Well, here's.
Bonjour.
I
The
mean,
only problem
Oh,
with the
yes.
zombie plan is it could get Damaris.
So we have to get her out first, right?
I
I
think
just don't know how we're going to get past the
I have
wards.
not been very
Get
long.
around,
so
burn
we
it down.
need to get into
If
the
she's-
temple.
What is this
We need to
zombie
get
they are
through
talking
the
about?
door
Yeah.
where Damaris is, and we need to get past
We have-
whoever's already
so
in the
these are
temple,
werewolves,
which
and now we have
presumably is
zombies. That's
at least this Black
Shit.
Hand. So I don't think that's very likely.
Todd.
That's,
um,
that's a lot of
so
tall order.
okay, hold on one second. So Todd, can you see everybody?
I can't see him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see him.
Okay, yeah.
see.
So that because whenever we start having some crosstalk, that means somebody can't see someone. So
Yeah.
Sorry.
yeah, and unfortunately, Todd's connection's been kind of bad too. So, if you
I'll
can't
log
see him,
out.
yeah, you'll just have to log back out, log back in.
Okay.
All right,
I'll
I'll
be
be
right
right back.
But I could infect this Sabat here, and he can get through the wards.
If we can make him do what we want right after you infect him, sure.
Well,
Dominate.
But
I do have some control once they become zombie mushroom people.
oh, how much
Bio
control?
warfare.
Out of game, it depends on how high I roll.
In other words, you're going to sound really sure. The moment, yep, got it. Just the same thing I just did. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Oh, excuse me, as a gun. So we have there's zombies here now. What do we? What are we? What's going on? What did I miss now?
Hey there, Arnold. How's it going?
Who's Arnold? No, it's me, Henri. It's just his jaw is different.
I know.
How do you feel?
Wow. You know, we could take him to a gay bar and see what happens. With that jaw, he'll be the hit.
You can take him to any bar.
Yeah. So
But,
just as a frame of reference, all
Definitely a
up here,
look.
all of it up here looks like Henri, right?
Yeah.
When it comes down to here, the jaw kind of comes out like this on the sides. It comes down. He's got this manly looking butt chin, you know,
Yeah.
with the cleft, like it just. Urgh.
So what? So is this Arnold? Is he is a zombie master? Who would?
No, he's a Terminator.
He's a famous actor.
So what are we talking about zombies for? I missed something.
Yes.
Dahlia can make mushroom zombies. Maybe we can use that against the Sabat.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of the zombie ant fungus?
Yes, actually.
I found a way to manipulate it to take control of humans and vampires.
It's very kind of a frightening revelation.
Yeah.
So you didn't work for the army, did you, at any point?
No.
Wow, you went
Um,
right in with them.
I was a plant scientist.
Oh man,
And
you have
it just
a great history with the army.
no.
Do we know anything? Do we know anything about the hunting habits of these Sabat packs?
I don't, but I wonder if Daxus does.
Because if we're worried about how we're going to deliver it to the vampires, if we use the zombie mushroom thing on some people that that we expect them to feed on, that'd be a way to get it into their system if they're not going to breathe it in.
Thoughts?
Yeah, that is a thought.
I feel like there's too many changing factors in that. I don't think that's. I'm just gonna say I don't think that's a good idea to introduce zombies into this whole equation.
Unless she can control them. I mean, if she can control
Well,
them, then that's.
we're kind of running out of time, and we need to figure out something.
So how do we get
Do we even
Damaris?
have people that we can send like to go and start destroying their havens during the day?
I can think of a few people that we could send up there.
And what is their cost going to be?
Well,
Well,
some of us have ghouls.
Some of us do.
Oh,
But see,
By the way, how are they doing?
Not great, but
Are
I
they
don't
going
want
to
to talk
pull
about it
through?
right now. I hope so.
Well, if you need anything.
I'm fine.
All right.
I can think of a few people that we could send up to Portland to set some fires. But that doesn't help with the Damaris problem.
Daxus was telling you that he would be able to help get her out. Like, how? I guess he's the Templar. That's nice. Would that just let him walk in, pick her up, and take her out of that temple?
I don't think they would. My perception of it was that the Black Hand and the Inquisitor severely outrank him, and he would not necessarily have access to the door.
Then how would he help in that at all?
Um, I wonder if he can hear us.
Oh, I'm sure he can.
Well, his ears have seen better.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Good point. His ears have clearly sustained some aggravated damage.
Anyone got a candle?
No, I left mine at home.
Because if we had a candle, I'd just pour some wax in his ears.
To make it worse?
Well, he wouldn't be hearing anymore.
I don't think he is hearing.
Hey, Ben, when you were staked, could you hear us?
Yeah, but my ears weren't destroyed beforehand. I mean, this guy.
Could
ears were all
you
messed up.
could you burn blood while you were staked to heal yourself?
No.
Okay, then hopefully he still isn't hearing.
Jerome, you can't use like telepathy while you're staked, can you?
Yep.
You can.
Mm-hmm. There are a few mental disciplines you can do when you're in a state of torpor. But
He also reached out to you.
But that's
I
pretty
remember.
much it.
What did you say, George?
He did reach out to you. You weren't actively in his mind.
Oh,
You were
George
talking
is
to
muted.
us.
No, he's not.
I can hear
No.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
I
he
can
just
hear him.
Yeah,
Went
I can
out.
hear him.
What did he say? Oh, there he's back. Say it again.
Oh, sorry. It's because like last game you were telling us about what you had discovered in his
Right.
mind, and Daxus like reached out to you in order to offer you like his information in exchange for his safety.
Right.
Sounds like
So I
telepathy
guess
to
he
me.
does.
I was just checking if that was a thing that he could potentially do more of, or if he was like fighting through the stake to do that.
He could also be. Can with telepathy? Can he be calling back to them, letting them know that we're on our way or that we're planning to.
Jerome, what's the range of telepathy?
Eyesight. I've been allowing you guys to use it outside of that occasionally for dramatic effect, but by the rules, eyesight. It's not over. It's not X-Men style telepathy.
Okay, well, I don't love hopping in and out of this guy's head, but I suppose if I must. So what specifically do we want to know again?
How can he help us get Damaris out of there, for one?
And if
Two,
the
does
number
he know when they're going to actually arrive at that temple? Does he know that when they meet?
and the number of individuals that are there, is that including coach and all the extras that are not normally there, or is that just the packs?
Are you typing, Sophie?
Brittany is taking notes so
Okay.
that she can remember what to ask.
Sure. Okay. Just making sure you didn't say anything or indicate that.
Sorry.
I didn't know if all of a sudden you couldn't hear somebody, and so
My
I
bad.
have a combination of the powers. I don't know if I may be able to help. I could is my protein is developed so I can shift my form into a wee rat, and I can also obfuscate. So if he could bring me in as an obfuscated rat, that may help matters in some way. I don't know.
There's wards on the ways in where apparently you've got to be Sabat in order to go through.
Oh,
and if
Does
you're
he know
not
how to bring
and
those
if you're
down?
not Gangrel, you can only turn into a wolf and a bat.
oh, I thought it was a rat. Sorry.
Nope, that's okay.
Well, a wee bat.
Yes, still small.
But it will not get past this ward, as Benjamin has mentioned.
Okay.
Does-
I'm gonna try and jump back in.
Okay.
Oh, does the ward, is it protected? Can I fly on top of? Is the haven and go into? Is it like I don't know. Is it a bubble ward or so? Is it like just the front?
I think it's under an overpass, so there's
And-
only like 3 doorways in.
And Sophie said there were 3 entrances.
They all
But
have a similar
They
door.
all had similar ward.
Jerome,
would
what's
he-
difficulty?
Difficulty 6.
Okay, then I got 5 successes.
Nice.
Okay, so you jump back in, and and right now you see he gives you the visual of that guy who does all the memes where he's going. He's just kind of looking at you with his arms unfolded, like.
I think maybe he can hear us.
So, explain yourself.
So he just gives you a visual of he's shrugging again, like he doesn't fully understand.
Okay. I'm going to. Okay, I'll ask how soon will they are they planning to deal with Damaris?
He shows you the image of the calendar again at this point, and he puts up, a couple question marks on a couple days.
Okay, I'll file those away.
It doesn't look like it
Oh,
was
wait, don't I
specific.
have a-
It doesn't look like it's specific. It's just probably saying within the next couple of nights.
Great.
Um,
I really don't want to be a tree, guys. No one's gonna water it.
you
I'll
really
die
think
twice.
Jerome let you be a tree?
You could be a burning bush.
Ooh.
There you go.
Oh,
You know, that's way more
man.
appropriate.
Dale.
Zing.
Yes, after all.
Well, given her power set,
dude.
it is appropriate.
Yeah, exactly.
And then just for clarification, 13 to 15 Sabbat in town, is that including the Black Hand and the Inquisitor?
He shakes his head. Mental image, obviously.
Shakes his head yes or shakes his head no?
No.
So we're talking 16 to 18.
He nods affirmative, yes.
Wonderful. So then if we were to allow you to help us, what does the Archbishop's schedule have to do with it?
You get a visual at this point of some 1920s mobsters in one of those like old cars sort of thing, and they come rolling up alongside what appears to be the Dawn from The Godfather, and they drill them, with a bunch of holes, and drive off.
A hit and run, really? But that doesn't help us get Damaris out.
Okay, so he just gives you a mental image of a question mark.
All right, so you've established that the only people who have access to her door are those out-of-towners?
He nods his head affirmative.
What about the Archbishop?
He nods his head as well.
Okay, so those 4 people and that's it?
Mm-hmm.
Is there something I'm missing?
He gives a question mark.
I just want to kick this guy.
And he's kind of giving you he's confused himself. He doesn't fully understand what it is you're asking.
So is his idea of helping is a hit and run? I assume you're relaying that information to us potentially, or no?
I don't think she can leave the
I don't
contact.
think-
Okay.
Yeah, I think I have to come back out and tell you and then go back in. But I guess since I've got all the answers so far, I will dip out and relay all of that.
Okay.
So we're up to 12 pack members and 4 heavy hitters, which looks to me basically like about 2 or 3 to 1 their favor.
Definitely their favor.
That's pretty rough.
I mean, honestly, even numbers would still be in their favor.
Yeah. So I'm thinking frontal assaults are kind of out, which means you're going to have to hit their havens. See what you flush out. Maybe you get another one like him. Like I said, do a swap. Go short term. You want Damaris? Try and work a swap. Because I don't think any of us thinks we're going to get into that Sabbat temple without taking a shit ton of casualties.
I just can't see any solution to this problem.
Yeah. Work a swap. Go political.
I don't think they would swap him.
I don't know.
He used to be Cam,
So?
and he turned on the Cam. Now he's Sabbat. Now he's offering to turn on the Sabbat just so he can save his skin.
Do you think
I don't-
they know that?
I think
Try a swap. What do you got to lose? Really? What do you have to lose?
the element
I
of
want to say
surprise.
something.
Yeah.
We
Surprise.
also know that they
time.
don't like him.
And
Well-
Damaris doesn't have time.
Well, in that case, either suck up the fact you're going to take casualties. Can't have it both ways.
I mean, I'm all for a swap, but we got to have somebody that's going to be important to them.
Why? You think that trader is important to them other than as something to make an object out of? Besides, if I was them, I'd make the swap. I'd make the swap. Mind read the guy we just gave him for all the information he has. Kill him, come back and kidnap the other guy again. Double bonus. That's just me, though.
They're already planning on turning her into a tree or whatever. Why would they bother swapping her? Like, their goal is
Go
to
ahead and
destroy
continue.
her.
They didn't have any
Yeah,
problem kidnapping her the first time. I don't think they're horribly impressed with anyone's security at this point.
Well, they kidnapped her because they want to make an example out of her. Because in their eyes, she's a traitor.
Yeah, well, they could always do what they did last time and rig her, send her back to blow up. I mean,
Can
There aren't
we capture the Archbishop?
Oh, we got to go through his bodyguards.
Right.
They're heavy,
but
and they're
that's
heavy hitters.
easier. Are
Maybe for
they?
you. He's not going to have any pansies with them.
Right, but if we go at them,
Going to use that
they'll
ring I
trade
got you.
for him. Might as well.
Would the Archbishop be in the temple, though?
no, he's a visitor.
Too.
He's a visitor. And
Yeah, this is not his headquarters.
Oh no, just kidding. We don't have his location. That's the one location that he did not give
I
us.
was going to say,
Is there
But Damaris had his location, didn't they? She
have what?
the Archbishop's
Yes.
haven.
It's all in her sketchbook.
So
It's all
wait,
in the
so
sketchbook.
did we?
And
do we
Dahlia
have-
hasn't been able to get home yet to get her sketchbook.
Nope.
It's the same night.
Do we have an address or do we just have like an image?
No, I've got the location. When I scry, it's like Google Maps. I can get crossroads and stuff, and I know I can get addresses. So all of that'll be in her scrying book.
Yeah, Lily and Dahlia just haven't gone over to the house to get her book. That's something we're going to do after this meeting.
Is there
we
anything
need to-
in combination with him that you can include in the pot to sweeten the deal?
Just to know how to
Flesh
listening.
Say that again.
flesh scroll.
Can you hear me?
Oh, is that still a thing? Do we still have that?
It's with Damaris.
Maybe not.
Sorry,
Oh,
girl,
they
now
didn't
it's in
take
this
it?
type.
I don't know. We won't know until we get there. If anybody wants
It
to come
kinda-
with me and Dahlia, I'm making Ben go.
Yeah, of course.
well,
It-
I don't know that I could let the Christian lady go by herself.
Who's the Christian lady?
Trish.
Oh. No, I don't think this is one for Trish. I think she's going to be out of it for a little while.
Yeah.
I think it kind of sounds like we need to know what Damaris knew about them, because we're just making plans without having like the whole board in view. We should probably wait to make any decisions until after we see what she's left for us.
Well, Ben and I and Dahlia can leave now and head over and get the book and come back if you guys want to wait.
Sure.
Might as well.
Let's do that then.
All right. Be back in a few.
Mm-hmm.
Start headed out so we can go to Dahlia's place.
Oh, okay. So
Jerome,
who's all going to Dahlia's place? So just
And of course, Dahlia.
Dahlia is going to Dahlia's
You're
place.
supposed to raise your hand.
So
Yeah.
so Dahlia, Lily, and Benjamin.
Sorry,
Okay.
I thought it was obvious.
No, I don't know if everybody was going. I just making
No,
sure.
they're just gonna wait. They're gonna wait there. We're going to go find the book.
Yeah, Damaris's book.
Well, I'm not going to make
Which
you play out a
Dahlia
full
knows
scene
where
for
that
that.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just figured we'd gone for a few moments, but they can continue brainstorming.
Okay.
Jerome, I have a question out of character.
I have an answer out of character.
Trudy sent an operative
Mm-hmm.
into Portland, and
She sure did.
I don't think she's heard anything back.
Yeah, because we've had pretty full scenes with other stuff.
Yeah.
And we
So-
haven't had an opportunity to play that yet.
That could be very relevant here, unfortunately.
Oh well.
And I don't remember if Sophie knew about Trudy's operative.
Oh no, she did not.
If only somebody else in this knew about Trudy's operative.
Did we ever find out anything about Colin's like sorcerer friends or his connections up in
No,
Portland? Like I know
they've been in underground. They've been in some kind of a blackout, basically.
still. Okay. Maybe that's a possible asset we could try to tap when we go there, maybe. I'm assuming Colin's coming with us.
That is something that Sophie does know.
If Colin would be going with us.
Know that you are familiar with some of his contacts up there.
Oh yeah. Yeah, she is. Whether we'd be able to find them or etc. She's reached out many times and they've been nothing. So
I mean, reaching out, like, did you like phone call them, or is it just like? Because I mean, I don't know them either, but Colin runs in those circles. Maybe we'll pass by a tree that'll let him know. Oh, this is the wizard tree, and we go into this like.
She's gonna look at Sasha. Oh, I'm not there. Never mind.
Right. You are driving.
Sasha's not here either.
Right. Sansa is here.
Oh, that one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The Bruja. I got him.
And
Backwards.
Sansa is muted.
Mean.
So you guys are talking about a sorcerer, and you've got one right in your midst. You're kind of talking around her.
Well, I don't
I'm
know.
kinda
if
used to
Reese
that by
has had
now.
a whole lot of interaction with her, so I'm not sure if he knows like what she can do or
Really?
not.
She went up against a demon man
Yeah, she kicked
with
Oh,
a
he was
fucking
the
flame.
one that-
Sorry, with
he
a
was the
flaming
one
sword.
He missed that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, she kicked
Yep.
butt while the rest of us wussed out.
I didn't wuss
I
out.
didn't wuss out. I think Lily was the only one that wussed out, to be honest.
I had a chest.
My face was out in the grass the entire time.
I had rebar in
You
my
were the
chest.
only one that wussed out then.
Hey, I got the rebar out.
Is that the big fight against the angel stuff?
Yep.
Yep.
Dahlia
AKA
staked
5
Ben.
minutes, Ben.
Yeah, you missed a good one.
That was a good game.
Well, I was also staked, right? At that
You
point.
were staked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you weren't
Okay.
there that
Yeah.
night.
Yep.
Okay, so well, are we in agreement that we want to set some fires around town? Because I can put some cogs in motion.
We're not going to
I
get
would
anything.
rather do.
Go ahead.
No, I would say I'd rather blow up their houses than try to make a
Awesome.
deal with them. I don't think that's going to work. And I certainly don't trust this guy to not betray us the moment we the moment we set him free.
He's betrayed. I'm not there. Sorry.
I know. No.
Yeah. Damaris is gonna die.
I'm all
Nobody
for
knows what to do.
it. I'd start burning them. I'd start
Burning Daxes?
burning down the places they have their havens.
Oh,
Sewer fire, gasoline, whatever you want to use.
Do you want
Just
to force them to go to the temple?
Well, I much prefer that they burn, especially if we do it during the daytime. Some of them will, of course, escape, but every casualty you take is someone we don't have to
happened there?
fight.
okay. Drome, I am going to.
Am I out again? Or can you hear me?
Can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I
not
can
not
hear you.
everybody can, Todd.
Oh, sorry.
Sacre bleu.
I see you now. Go ahead.
No, it's just unfortunately we've got two people who who have really bad connections right now, and
Yeah.
there's not a whole lot I can do about
I'm
that.
sorry.
Hey,
It's not your fault,
You're-
honey.
Yes, you're
not
fine.
you- don't worry about it. We'll make do. Of course, we will throw you first at the next demon. Just on general principles, but
I mean, as long as I'm not staked, that should be okay. Well, not okay, but at least I'll give him a good scratch.
there you go. Yeah, if we can flush some of them out and get them out of town, kill a couple, put them into torpor, whatever works. Those are bodies we don't have to face.
That's true. Reduce their numbers first.
It may also, if they don't know that we've come to town, or like if they start reporting in that their havens are being attacked, that may lead some of them out of the temple, or it may lead some of them towards the temple. Maybe we can grab somebody who knows how to turn the dang door off.
Kind of looks over at the sorcerer. Last time someone talked to me about wards, I didn't think they had on and off buttons.
No, I would not that simple. They need to be dispelled, unraveled, so to speak. Each one is more complicated or less, depending on who's
Just
got
say
it.
yes or no. That was good. I just
You
yes or
know, you
no.
don't have to be rude or an asshole about it.
No, I asked a question. Did it have an on or off button?
You know, you
The
do have
answer
a,
is no. It doesn't have an on or off button.
you know, you're really good at critiquing, but I haven't heard you come up with a single idea this whole session.
I came up
so
with the idea of burning them out.
that is fantastic thinking that I don't think anyone else here was considering.
Jerome, I'm going to make a phone call
Okay.
to that biker bar across town
All right.
and just ask them if Jackson is there. Not to get him, but to just ask him if he's there.
So you're just you're basically doing the you're just calling the bar like Bart Simpson and just asking for somebody. I mean, you're not pranking him, mind you, but you're just
No. I'm just trying to locate him, but I don't want to use my astral projection in case I need that willpower.
Gotcha. Fair enough. You know what? Let's see. Okay. All right. Sophie, odd or even?
Odd.
Okay. So you place a call. Bartender picks up. Yeah, what do you want?
Hey, I'm wondering if my boy Jackson is in there.
I'm sorry, who is this?
A friend of his.
Huh.
You seen him in tonight?
So you hear the phone get covered up. And then you hear something get yelled out across the bar. There's a quote unquote friend for Jackson. Is Jackson here? And then he comes back over and he says, he comes back on. He says, "What do you want, Brad?"
Is it Jackson?
No, it's still the bartender.
Oh, I'm just wondering if he's in tonight.
Don't pay me enough for this. Now you hear a proper hold.
I'm assuming since it's a close knit community that he knows who I'm talking about.
Probably, yeah. And so he comes back on the phone and he says, "Yeah, he's here. What do you want?"
That's all I needed. Thanks. And I'll hang up.
Okay, hangs up.
The purpose of that was making sure that he was in town and not in town.
Sure. No, I get it.
Okay, so I'll turn to the others and say, are we agreed that setting fires is what we want to do for one?
I've already said.
How about we wait until everybody's here, because we don't know what Damaris knew. Once we have a bigger picture, I think we should decide.
No, that's a good point. If she has additional locations, I'm going to want to hand those over to.
Yeah. Plus, we kind of want them all to be able to put their input in.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm a bit behind.
I will hold my action.
Do we know where Damaris is? Am I missing that?
They've been told that she's behind a set of locked doors inside a temple. There is no other verification other than what they've been told, and what they're pretty sure the Auspex is telling the truth.
And we have is there no way of getting inside? It's a
We've discussed this probably 4 times already tonight. Even the magic users agree there is no way to get inside without taking immense casualties.
No, is it just a ghoul or as a human?
There is no way to get inside without taking immense casualties.
Honestly, I don't know how we would get inside anyway, because none of us are true Sabbat.
Okay, so going to those who have gone back to the haven that Damaris and Dahlia were at. It is as you left it.
Mm-hmm.
It's quiet. Most of the lights are off.
Ben looks to Dahlia. You know where she keeps her stuff?
Yeah, I will go to her bedside table, right? And that's where she keeps her journal.
For the book?
Yeah.
No. The book was in essence under glass.
Not that book. They're talking about my my what you call it, my scrying book, where I wrote down the locations and notes of whatever I found.
Yep. Yeah, I mean,
And it
it's
was-
not on the end table right now. I mean, it's on the floor where it got knocked
I'm
over.
sure it
But
got
yeah,
knocked
it's still
over.
there.
Right. Dahlia goes and retrieves the journal.
Okay. So it's a big kind of thick book. It's got some leather straps that bind it, that keep the primary pin that she uses for her drawing and whatnot attached to it. But yeah, it's all there.
I then go look at the book under the glass and see if it will say anything.
Okay. So, I mean, you come walking in. What do you want?
Oh gosh.
Do you know his name?
Do you still live
No.
here anymore?
Not currently. I'm trying to find Damaris.
Would that book be loud enough for Lily and Ben to hear it from where they're standing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
He-
let's
They're
go
gonna steal my
investigate.
book. I'm
He's
gonna be
rather
pissed.
proud of his own voice.
Let's go and investigate.
Yeah, what the heck is that? So
Yeah.
we'll
She's
walk
talking to
towards
somebody.
wherever that is.
We're trying to find Damaris.
Of course. You have
Who are you
her other
talking to?
book.
Yes.
It's just she's looking at a book. Now keep in mind, it doesn't like morph with a mouth and like Harry Potter it up. But yeah, it has this sort of disembodied spectral voice that goes with it for some reason.
Okay.
Who are you talking to?
The book.
Sure, of course. Yeah, it makes perfect sense, because
We,
books
we
talk.
had the Black Rock. Now we have the book.
I know. It's just these things that should be talking are talking all the time now. What's the
Book?
book's deal?
Do you know how to break a very powerful ward that only allows true Sabbat in?
What's it to you?
Rude. We need it to get Damaris back.
We can get you a new leather-bound cover. Special binding.
Let me ponder that.
Well, we don't
Dahlia
have a
would
whole
know
lot
his
of
name
time.
is Talus, by the way.
Okay. Would Damaris have told her that?
Told her what?
The name of the book?
Book? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You live there. You should know it.
Okay. Talus, we need it soon.
Define soon.
Preferably right now.
Why did you leave? It has been boring.
Because Damaris was staked here and I don't want to be here all alone.
Oh, excellent. But you leave me behind.
I don't think Damaris would want me to take you out of your glorious stand.
Yep.
So I am only here for your amusement.
No.
Woman, pick me up.
Okay, I will open the book and pick it up.
Okay. So you like carefully bring it up out of its glass, set the glass down, and pick it up. It is a very old tome. The pages crunch. It's got that sort of like pieced together kind of feel. It no longer has binding. It's just got kind of like thread and ties and whatnot to keep the pages together. It's sturdy. Don't get me wrong. It's not like going to just fall apart or whatnot. But it does not look like it was just some beat up manual tome that somebody made probably in the 20th century. It's dated, clearly dated.
I pick it up and I like stroke his pages. It's okay, Talus. I'll take you with me this time.
What is happening?
Stop that. We are in front of people. That is embarrassing.
Twitch guidelines, guys.
Change the rating on the stream.
Very well. Wait. Is there a Tremere with you?
No, definitely not.
You lie.
I look at Lily. What do you want me to do?
Is that a problem?
Did it wipe its feet?
It?
Yes, she wiped her feet at the door.
It?
Just hold on. We're talking to the book. Never mind. That sounds really dumb. You go right ahead and do whatever you want. I don't know what's happening now. Books are talking.
Karis, be nice. I mean it.
I'm not
Be
afraid
nice.
of fire. Just letting you know.
Let's focus.
Then you will not
Damaris.
learn what you need to learn. Keep the usurper away from my pages.
Okay.
And double check its boots.
I'm going to kick it with my boots.
I will walk into another room, probably Dahlia's room,
Sure.
and ask it again. We don't have the Tremere here. Can you tell me now?
It is within the haven.
Within our haven, or
Yes, you don't think I can sense it?
what is within our haven?
The usurper. And its muddy boots.
Fine. I will go outside, get in the car, shut the door, and then ask for
Okay.
it again. Okay.
Where are we going?
You book. She sets it down for a second, calms herself, and she calls Lily. I am going to drive Terrace to a secure location.
Talus.
Talus. Thank you. Talus. So that I can get the information we need.
Sure, stomp on it a couple of times accidentally for me.
And I can do that. Maybe.
All good.
Yep, I'll be back. And she hangs up and drives off.
I guess
somewhere.
we're locking up.
Okay.
She's it doesn't want to be with me, so she's driving it.
What's with your clan? Like, I've only dabbled a little bit, but boy, babe, everyone hates your clan. What is up?
I hate my clan.
Well, seeing as what they did to you, sure, but
Oh, when we get home.
Okay, so you go for a drive with Talus. Where are we going?
Where do you want to go?
I've never been asked that question before. Take me to Barnes & Noble.
I will take him to Barnes and Noble.
Okay. So you go walking in. Obviously, you go park. Barnes & Noble's open late, so it's not an issue. You go walking inside and, with the books, with Talus, and you get the impression that he is starting to preen, and he's like, and you hear, he's talking, by the way, as you bring him in. And he's like, look at all of these peasants. Audiobooks, laughable. And softback. Pathetic.
I have like my phone pretending to be on YouTube.
Oh.
So like people are like,
Good save. Good save.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So yeah, I mean, people are kind of looking at you weird, but I mean, you're looking at your phone, so they're not thinking too much of it. You're probably just listening to a video like too loud, or something.
That's what I'm pretending to do. Yes, exactly. And are you happy?
Of course,
Sort
I
of.
am vastly superior to these pathetic tomes.
Let's take
Okay.
him to my basement.
Take me someplace to sit. Let me bask.
Okay. I will take him to the car. You have any particular spot you would like to bask, Talus?
I was referring to the store.
And I will like try and find like a book stand.
Sure.
And I'll take off the
Well, I mean,
book that
they've
was
got plenty
there.
of they've got plenty of places, in Barnes and Noble to sit and read.
Okay. And I will take him, set
Sure.
him there.
Okay.
Still have my phone out.
Right. The cover story. And so he says, "Remind me again of your question. You were asking something Sabbatish."
Yes. There is where Damaris is. She's in a temple. And there are wards that will only allow true Sabbat inside.
Oh, yes. That was designed by the usurpers.
Yes. They took Damaris. Can you get in or teach me how to get in through the wards?
Oh, you wouldn't happen to have a Valdery, would you? Something that
Oh.
designates you as a permanent member of the Sabbat.
A what?
Turn to page 2.
I will open to page 2.
It's an explanation of the Valdery.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a joint blood bond within a pack. And it has the ritual and everything. So if you decide that you want to learn that particular rite day, you can. It's there for the teaching. It's basically like the explanation of how it came to be and how you can actually enact the ritual.
So that wait, okay, I'll ask in character. Cheris, is this like
Talus.
Talus.
Really, woman?
Talus.
Talis.
Thank you. Talus. Is this like a way to trick the Sabbat or this will make me a Sabbat?
Is there really a difference?
There's a difference to me. I don't want to be a Sabbat.
Well, then don't brand yourself, silly girl. That's on page 5.
Well, I hadn't gotten there yet.
Does this answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Excellent. Now point me over to the women's lib section. I wish to gloat more.
I think you've done enough gloating for now. But I promise to bring you back.
This is amenable.
Okay. I will then walk out of the store. Still have my phone in case he decides to have some more snide comments
Sure.
as we walk out. I will
You
then
can actually hear something like being written in his page, like something's writing, like he's actually writing in himself.
Okay. Can I like open it up and see?
Yeah, but as
If
you
he's
as you
writing?
turn, however, it sounds like somebody going as you're as you're flipping to the pages.
Okay. I turn to the page that is being written
It
on?
looks, it reads like a journal entry, and it says it's like Killian's grandchild Dahlia of clan Leannan first found Talus, enacted some inane conversation, learned what it meant to have a Valdery, and how to and what the meaning of basically that ritual was, on the front, sort of thing. And it's kind of writing out, as you're reading it.
I love
Okay.
that there's going to be a
I'll look
vampire tome that mentions Barnes and Noble in it.
I will then shut the book and then turn off YouTube on my phone and to the group text say, we need a Valdery to get through the ward. And then I will drive back to Dahlia and Damaris's house.
Okay, so you drive back, and on your way there, he says, "Where exactly are you taking me?"
Back to our house.
Yes, but you do not reside there.
He's not going to like the alternative.
Yeah, he can come stay with my books.
It's either here or the Muddy Shoe House.
Why is that? Is that where you are currently residing? Why would you reside with the usurper?
Because it's
The
safer
blasphemy.
there. Would you like... I can come back here. I'll stay here.
That is amenable.
Okay. Perfect. He's so sassy. Oh.
Like Venom.
Oh.
Makes you
Hardcovers.
wonder who's imprisoned in the book. Yeah.
Okay, Dahlia will carry Talus inside, set him back on his pedestal, put the glass over him, and then walk over to Lily and Ben. I'm like, I have to sleep here tomorrow. But I know what we need to do to break or get through the ward.
Why don't you just invite that boy you're so fancying over? He could
What?
keep you company.
Oh, gosh. How do you know about that, Talus?
I answered the door, silly.
Oh, gosh.
You met him delivery. Or was he DiGiorno?
No. Just for a second.
Very well.
Does anybody respond to the group text?
Since you're right there, Ben's like, yeah, got that text. Valdery, huh?
Really?
Yes.
That's going to be kind of hard.
I mean, does anybody here even know how to do that? And that's not great. Isn't that a weird type of bond?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's yeah.
Are you guys still just talking amongst yourselves? Or are you back with the group?
No,
No,
they're
we're talking with the book.
Okay. So this is not like conversation over the text.
Right.
Right.
I mean, do we even know how to do that? Do you know?
The book knows.
How does the book? I mean, maybe it's a stupid question. The book talks, but how does the
Excuse
book
me.
know?
Talus.
Thank you.
Right. Does it just
bad.
know everything, or
So bad. This is
what's
so
with the
bad.
book?
I am a
is-
repository of Sabbat information. Thank you very much.
Oh,
And a living journal of all things Lianan.
oh, great. Hey, if someone were turned into a black tree, is there a way to undo that?
Dahlia, who is this peasant that converses with me?
Just
Really?
answer him.
How dare you? Speak to me.
Do you still have your lighter?
Very
Might.
well. The Black Tree is a ritual designed by the Inquisition of the Sabbat. No, it is not reversible. Although it may make interesting kindling.
All right, answers that.
That's what they want to do to Damaris.
That is what we define as a bad thing.
A very bad thing.
Is she
Okay,
not
if-
your grandmother?
Oh, yes. Yes, she is.
Why haven't you Valderied yet?
Right, he's from the. I
Oh.
get it. Okay. Do we need anything more from a Talus, or should we go back? Because if that's all you're getting from him,
Talus, I'll be back.
Very well.
No, I don't. Okay, let's go.
Please endeavor to wipe your
Talia-
shoes on the way out.
Dahlia is like very obviously annoyed with said book.
Mhm.
We remember who gave the book to Damaris, right?
Nobody knows that she was given that book
Oh, never mind then.
because it just showed up in her haven. Remember,
yeah.
she's never shown it to anybody
I can't
Outside
wait
of
for the
Dahlia.
side.
outside of Dahlia. Yeah.
I can't wait for the side game where the book and Sophie's cat join, like, go on an adventure with each other.
Don't.
As the
Only
things
if
that,
you draw a
Onward,
comic.
feline, onward.
as the things that talk that shouldn't talk.
As
Yeah.
they try to mutually use each other.
Yeah.
It would be like the Pokemon episodes where it's just the Pokemon and they.
Oh,
There you go.
right, yeah.
There you
They
go.
can understand each other.
Yes.
So we head back to the train museum.
Okay.
Yep.
Sansa, you get a text.
From who?
The number is unfamiliar. However, the number that comes across, or I should say the comment at the bottom of the text, indicates it's from the council.
Oh. What does it say?
Because you recently turned in a review or a question not too long ago. And so because it's a text, the commentary is, just how close are you to the usurpers? And there's like several question marks after
You better
that.
not be talking about me again.
Table of Horrors. Thank you very much for the raid, guys.
I guess I'm not sure what they're asking. So it's from the council, and they're asking how.
You asked several games. It's been like a month and a half or so. You asked a while back because you were inquiring about it was something revolving or involving the Tremere. Is what it was, because you were concerned about being discovered. And so that's why the someone from the council has actually fired that text off to you, like, just how close are you to these people?
Oh, I totally forgot about that question. Even
I know you did.
I don't remember what the question was specifically, but
That's okay.
She's just gonna reply like,
Just look back on your text history.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Within earshot. Even though she's not there technically, I mean, she will be eventually.
Yeah. You're basically letting them know you're that close. Okay.
Yeah.
So you get a call.
I gotta take this. I'll be right back.
Hey, Softanamicon. Thank you guys for the raid.
She'll go to like, I don't know, a back room somewhere.
Yeah, there's still plenty of place within the train museum you can go to have a semi-private conversation, while the others are just kind of conversing amongst themselves.
Yeah.
You can take it in the bathroom. The vampires aren't going in there.
That's true. She'll go to the bathroom.
Turn on that second light switch that just does nothing but make, white sound noise.
Right.
In Japan, they play music for you.
Yeah, so you get on the phone and there's like, are you out of your mind, Sansa? Do they know who you are? Do they know what you are?
They know that I'm sorcerer. because I came here to see Colin, and that is it. I've
No one's questioned you on how you
no,
do the voodoo that you do so well?
no, I don't question them on how they do their voodoo so well.
Oh.
Trust me, I know how precarious this is, but some good came out of it. We got rid of the leader of the cult of whatever it is. Rachel doesn't remember.
Daglothal.
Daglafal.
Mhm.
Gesundheit.
So
Yes.
that is a big thing for
Oh.
us.
Huh.
I
Okay.
stabbed her with my own sword.
Okay, so let's assume that whatever it is that you're doing is working and they're not lulling you into becoming another member of their clan.
No, 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 no. And then this place is, I feel, truly neutral, in that they are just really here to just try to just do their own thing. But people keep coming in from all other places to screw with them. It's kind of crazy.
What sort of information can you get from them? Have you obtained any new rituals or magics?
Um,
Yeah.
I haven't learned any new rituals as of yet, but there is one that I've been curious about that was used to actually lure um Trial and helped get her defeated. It was a war versus demons,
Hmm. All right.
which is immensely helpful. Um, I am studying still. I mean, what can I say? It's not been boring, that's for sure.
Get what you can, information wise, preferably Rite that we can convert. Perhaps information on other magics that we might be able to convert. We could certainly use an updating to the annals. And we will see what we can lend in the way of assistance. If
Assistance.
you can keep this on the down low, we don't want a third Nasasa war.
It's not a good thing that I'm here. I mean, I know that it's not a good thing, but I mean, um, I almost feel like I'm in trouble for some reason.
We're just alarmed and pleasantly surprised.
Well, I mean,
Or so the council said last I spoke to them.
I know that I was supposed to keep a low profile, but this was kind of important. I needed to get an enchantment on my sword, and I found out about Trial here as well, and it seemed to work out. But I will continue to learn and report back what I find.
Good, good. Keep that up then. You'll be at your house tomorrow?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay.
Though,
Make sure you are there between the hours of 10 and 12.
AM or PM?
AM.
I lately been keeping hours with these guys, so it's been my sleep schedule is all out of whack.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that. It's probably evening there right now, isn't it?
It is late evening, yes. What time is it? Is it like 10 o'clock or something, or I don't even know.
Presumably, yeah.
Yeah, it's late.
Very well. But expect a delivery.
Okay,
No, we had to send it DHL.
good. Okay, and the other I sent word back that Triol had been taken care of. Did the council have anything to say about that? I mean, because it's important.
They're still deliberating. You know how these things go. They're rather slow.
Yes, story of my life. Okay. All right. Well, then I will be waiting for the package tomorrow.
And keep this number. If you have any other questions or immediate reports to speed things up, you can send them to me.
I will do. Thank you. I'm sorry. Out of character, what is their name again?
You didn't give one.
And anonymous council number. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, then she'll go back.
You're kind of used to this because of the secretive nature of your order and the fact that they try to stay hidden for as long as they did. They don't typically give out their names a whole lot. So it's not uncommon for you just to come up with like once you identify the voice, you're like, okay, this is Sally or this is so
Okay.
it's something you can identify so you know who they are.
Gotcha.
It's to help keep your, in essence, your cover and theirs.
Okay, cool. All right, she'll hang up the phone and just kind of shake her head and go back inside.
Okay. And as you come walking back from your call, at this point, Lily, Benjamin, and Dahlia are back.
Huh. She'll wave to them as she just continues. to go
Dahlia
back
probably
inside.
a little flush in the cheek still.
You're muted, hun.
Yes, I'm definitely flushed in the cheeks.
Lily's annoyed.
All right, what do we miss?
Nothing.
Just waiting for y'all to return.
Don't everybody speak up at once.
I forgot the name of the thing. I'm sorry.
So you're
Valkyrie?
Valdery.
Valdery. We need a Valdery to get
you're
through the wood.
saying someone who has partaken or participated in the Baldry could pass through the door?
Yes.
Yes.
It can't be that simple.
We just have to get one.
It kind of makes sense. That's a Sabat thing.
And we have
I
one
don't
on
think
the
anybody
table.
else does that.
What does this entail? I'm guessing this is more complicated than just stealing a key card.
It's a ritual that involves bonding with your pack by essentially drinking one another's blood. You all put some in a cup together. There's some kind of a ritual done over the cup, and then you pass the cup around.
That just makes Lily shiver from memories.
Even if that was an option, would we be even able to do that? We don't have any of these guys' blood.
That's my question. Is
He's not enough.
I mean, can anyone who's done that go through the door? Is that what you
The
found
only
out?
way, yeah, your friend here on the table has gone through the ritual, or he wouldn't be able to go in and out of the temple.
Why
No.
does it have to involve him? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't want anything Sabat in my system.
Because you said it has to be like it's a pack ritual, right? Like, wouldn't we need the
Yes.
blood from their pack in order to get in, or is this temple secured only to any Sabat from any pack could just kind of come in, or
That's my question. Is because
That I can't answer.
Dahlia, your understanding was it's the Valdery that gets you through the door. So long as you have one, that's basically what lets you pass. You shall pass.
That's what we have on the table.
is there a
that has nothing to do with the table.
That has nothing to do with the guy on the table.
Nothing to do with him.
Is there
So he
a
had-
time
so-
frame?
I'm
not
speaking
sure
out of
how-
character because obviously I don't have an NPC there. Yeah.
Right.
I'm speaking directly to Dahlia. Your understanding was that it's the Valdery that does it. It has nothing to do with the person that's there.
From my understanding, from what I read, is we just need the Valkyrie.
Just
So,
That's
doing it does it.
so you're
Okay.
proposing that we perform a Valkyrie amongst ourselves.
I'm not proposing it, but it may be our only option.
You
I
know
can't.
what? You know what? I mean, not the only option. If we destroy the door, I mean, like, it's not unbreakable, is it? We can't pass through the doors, but if we, like, did something to the doors, if we broke them through, would that get rid of it?
No.
No?
Well, it depends.
Sansa,
If
you
the
want to
door
answer that one?
itself, if the door itself is warded, maybe. If it is an area effect, no.
Would I know if she's correct? I can't remember out of character. Like, a ward affects the entire location, right?
Mhm.
It's a radius. Yeah.
Well, you
Correct.
can also
No,
ward.
Breaking the
ward-
door does not get rid of the effect of it.
Oh, darn.
It's a radius effect.
So I was going to say, we've got
But Sansa
lot
has
of
something
ex-
for that.
I've counterspell.
She's got an app for that.
She has an app.
That's right.
Counterspell, right? Yeah, I've got.
Mhm.
No, that's
I can counter it. Like, it's not I can get through the ward. That's not a big deal. But I'm also very squishy. If I go to a vampire's temple, especially ones that you guys hate, I'm going to get killed.
well,
wanna
you
live
wouldn't
a little
go through
longer.
it.
No,
So
we
we-
wouldn't let you go through.
Technically speaking, I
To be
have
there to do it.
I have undergone Valkyrie, although it's been several years. But I also am very squishy.
Hold on. New information.
Ben's mind just blew.
I was waiting for that.
When did you go through the Valkyrie and why?
It was a long story, and I blame Isadora.
Say no more. No, I get it.
But on the bright side, she knows how to do it.
Could Isadora get through?
I don't know. I suppose she. Well, I don't know if she actually. I don't think she drank.
I
What
can't.
are-
I can't partake in your guys' blood.
Ben,
I
goes
can't.
ahead and texts Isadora. Random question, Izzy. Have you ever partaken in a Valkyrie? Send.
Oh,
And
that was
there's your
perfect
answer.
timing.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oops, I texted Talia. Hold
I
on.
know, yeah. Doggone it. Yeah, so she sends back a text of like, this is an odd timing or odd time to ask that question, Benji.
Trying to brainstorm ways to get through a ward. You have to have the Valkyrie to get through.
Yeah, she sends a text back. She says correct. If it's the ward I'm thinking of.
So you've partaken.
I've partaken and I've conducted.
So then Ben's like, okay, so she has gone through a Valkyrie and she says she's done it before.
I was there. I
Well,
know.
Well, okay. You weren't saying anything at the time. All right.
I mean, it's kind of a sore subject.
So what is the
Okay.
downside? I'm not hearing the downside. It sounds like we're dancing around it. Why
The
wouldn't we just
downside is you're bonded to each other. It's a type of blood bond. And you don't necessarily want to be bonded to a bunch of people all the time.
I mean, honestly, those of us early anarchs here didn't seem too
Hold on.
words.
Multiple anarchs went through this, like including you?
Again, Isadora was the instigator.
Okay,
We
who?
didn't
So
really
you,
have a
I mean, so that means the ones who can go through you, her, anybody else in town that you know of?
no.
Okay, so
I
right now it's you
mean,
two, unless we wanted to go through it.
Damaris was there. Hesperia was there.
Our gargoyle.
Our gargoyle.
Mm-hmm.
The Gaia? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, she's Sabat. Yeah, I guess that would make
I-
sense.
She was Sabat. She's no longer Sabat.
She could break through that door with her pinky.
Yeah, actually. Well,
Who's gonna ask her?
Yeah, not me. I would ask. I would have Miss Trudy bring it up to her. Yeah, I think she responds better with Miss Trudy.
yeah, they got a relationship going on, a mother-daughter thing or something.
Yeah, because it cannot come from me.
Okay, well,
I'm a usurper, remember? I won't.
Can it be undone once it's done? Like, is this a? Yeah.
Well, I would think so. I think it's, you know, like a normal. Actually, Jerome, I'm not sure. Like,
You want Lily to take over?
is it like
Because
a
Lily
normal blood bond?
knows about. Because Tremere have something real similar to it.
Okay, go ahead.
Tremere, when they are created, they are given the blood of the council. That makes them completely loyal to the clan and ensures them that they will not be betrayed. You guys doing something like this will bond you guys. You will have each other's backs. You will be loyal to each other. I can't because us Tremiers have a flaw. One drink, and I am at a 2-step. I will be the most affected.
Can it
And
be
I
broken
don't
though?
really. It can, but I'm not high enough in my stations yet. There is a ritual that can break blood bonds. Yes,
Does anybody here know how to do that?
I know somebody in Salem that can do it because she broke mine.
okay, so it can be undone after we use it. Sounds like. Is that what I'm hearing?
I'd
Well,
have to talk to her.
Okay.
My understanding of the downsides, essentially, if I mean here in Ashland where we're friendly amongst each other, it's less of a bonding issue, I would think. Before I didn't really notice that much of a difference in our relationships. We were already working together. But if anyone outside of Ashland heard about it, that could put us in a very difficult spot politically.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's something like this. You guys have got to be very, very, so very careful because, I mean, you're literally giving up your control to other people. That's what a blood bond does.
Okay. So if we didn't do that, we got 3 people who've gone through it who could go through. the
And bomb
Baron,
the crap out of
Izzy,
them.
and Agea. Would that be enough for you three to go in, grab Damaris, get out, and then we can go to Pound Town with the rest of those bloodsuckers?
If she's guarded, there's no way that I can take on 3 Sabbat members, let alone Black Hand or whatever.
Well,
It's
we
not
saw
just
what
you.
we
It's
saw
you
what
and
Agea,
Agea, and Izzy knows what she's doing.
If
and
we
we
Agea, they'll-
witnessed what Agea did to the one when we went after the presidents.
Yeah. We just who's guarding her all the time? Is there always a guard? Do we know that?
I
Oh,
would
I don't remember. I
It's
can't
a
remember
temple.
what he
Why
said
would it not
to
be
Trish.
guarded?
can someone else do the interrogation? I'm not really fit for this.
Aren't you the only
I
one who
would
can
if I
jump into his
could.
mind?
Is there a problem if I just grab him and pull the stake out? Does anybody care? He's not going to get
Yes,
away
do
Yes.
not do that.
Uh,
Yeah.
from me. Then put a gun to his head, and if he does anything, immediately pull the trigger if he does something.
by the way, you maybe don't know a whole lot about this guy, but I've run into him before. I've actually fought him before. I understand he's what's called a Nagaraja.
Okay.
I've seen him
It is.
fleshcraft from a distance.
Oh,
Can
Never mind then.
can he fleshcraft with broken arms?
He can do it with his mind.
He does it with his mind.
Huh. Can he blindfold him?
All right, never mind.
That
Well,
is
then-
why we staked him.
Yeah, then okay, then we just never unstake him. So we can't do anything he asks.
well,
Okay.
you can't unstake him, which means you can't physically interrogate him because he can't talk.
Right. I was just trying to give her an out. She's
Oh, I
been in his
understand. I'm
mind
just
a bunch
saying.
of times.
I'm just saying. So really, if we're done with him, and that sure seems to be the case, show him the sunlight.
I hope he
If you
can hear
can't get
that.
any more from his mind, and we can't physically interrogate him, he's got no purpose. So I can see, does anyone see any use for him? Is there a use for him in a permanently staked condition?
We still haven't checked any of Damaris's notes yet.
What does that have
Right.
to do with a stake Sabbat?
We
No,
don't know
he's
what
not-
his value is until we have the full picture.
So
What-
here's the
Never
book
mind.
here. Let's take a look and see what she's got. So we open up the notebook and see like what locations she had figured out for the Portland Sabbat.
Okay. She was able to track down the one death to die, as well as the Archbishop's pack.
Mm-hmm.
She's able to confirm the relative location of the temple.
Which is the underpass.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
She also confirmed a couple hotspots that the Sabbat apparently go to. One of which was the Rebellious Rose, which was an occult store, nightclub sort of thing. Another one was it's like an abandoned lot that used to be a ball field.
Okay.
Looks like they go there for sport.
All right, we got several locations. She knows where the Archbishop is. Does the book say? Did she mention like if like who the Archbishop was with, like as far as how many pack members she saw with him or anything like
Oh,
that?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
put
yeah.
notes like all of that. Who I see, what I see, crossroads, what the building looked like,
Nice. Okay. Then Ben's like, I mean, we've got the details. If we want to take down one dude, their leader. I mean, we can't all go against all of them. Okay, we can go against some of them, and if we know what we're doing, and we go at them, and they don't know we're coming, we got them. One good stake, gets us the leader of the Sabbat there.
I wonder if we could.
What can that afford us then? Can we swap? Or
Yes.
say, give her, like, use him as leverage for everything? Like, get out of town and everything? Or
Maybe. So we go on a kidnapping raid.
I mean, it's the only way I can think of to attempt to save Damaris and deal with the Spot at the same time, because otherwise, unfortunately, like what Rivas is saying, like she'd be a goner otherwise. We don't have a lot of time, like 1-2 nights tops, if that.
Rivas, how do you feel about that?
About what?
About kidnapping the Archbishop and using him as leverage?
Does anyone know how badly the betrayal was when Damaris left? Did she just leave? Was it just a pack betrayal? I'm leaving, I'm not coming back? Or did she do something a little bit more, like she betrayed a whole pack and they all went down and they all paid the punishment? There's a bit of a difference there.
She was a double agent here.
She's never spoken about her pack.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem like a pack thing. It was just her.
Didn't we see a ritual where she had to revoke her, like her membership to the Sabbat in front of her sire?
Yep. Yeah, some of you were there for that very public display that she was forced
not
to
just her
endure.
sire. It wasn't her sire. It was
Apollyon.
It was her sire, and Apollyon was the one that
he did it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So at that level, sounds like it's, I don't know.
She did was change sex. Like, she didn't do anything to people, just change sex.
I mean,
tell that to someone who leaves the Camarilla to become an anarchist.
Oh, I know.
It's not a little thing. And you say her sire branded her?
No.
Her sire had her branded.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe 50-50 if I had to guess. Not knowing how important the bishop is. Because that's going to be a sect decision. You kidnap the bishop, the archbishop's going to make the call on whether or not it's worth the swap.
Well, it's the archbishop that we're going to take.
Oh, archbishop?
Yes.
Okay. It would be worth it if we get away with it. I mean, that would be my take on it. It'd be like getting a Camarilla elder. Let's put it in perspective. Be in the same category. You get a Camarilla elder. Like I said, you got to get away with it, though.
So we have a location that the archbishop is staying at. Couldn't we just kidnap him during the day? Stake all of them and leave or kill the others and take him like they did Damaris?
Do we have the people that can do that kind of hit during the day?
I don't.
We might have some contacts, Benjamin.
We would be sending.
We do have a network.
It'd be sending them after an archbishop of the Sabbat, though. Like, if it was us, I wouldn't care. But if it's other people involving them in our problems, like, are these people or these other? Well, because they can't be vampires.
I just have Doug.
They'd be.
Don't
I'm
laugh.
not sure Doug's going to do it.
All you have to do is talk.
It's just how you put it. It's just like, I've only got Doug.
Oh, I got Doug. Yeah.
We have an army.
Just
I have a
Doug.
Doug.
Just Doug.
He's been so busy with his LARPing.
I mean, I don't have like an entire
actually, just kidding.
SWAT
Doug
team's
was here
worth of
tonight.
tools or anything. So
Doug was here tonight. Doug helped with the kidnapping. I guess.
He also talks different now, right?
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah, I liked it better before the recast.
You can
Boy,
tell.
this has got to be timed so perfectly, or we're screwed.
So, are we not burning down other places around town?
I would burn the other ones, but let's keep the Archbishop alive.
Because we still have to get rid of all of them. It's at some point. Yeah,
Yeah.
the time is
So burn
ticking
them.
on.
Yeah, burn the other locations, but we take only the Archbishop, and that's it. The others die.
Ben, why don't you give me a wits and investigations check?
Oh, okay. Difficulty?
7.
One success.
One success. Okay, well, if you're trying to do this during the day, it would require you to wheel and deal, but you do know somebody who could probably pull it off.
The hunters.
Um,
The hillbillies.
No,
Yeah.
that's not who I was referring to. I mean, you could always ask them, but that's going to be a mixed
Shannon.
bag. No, that's not who I'm referring to.
I
Mm.
could
Wyatt Earp.
try.
Yeah, that's right.
Who's Wyatt Earp?
Marshall.
The U.S. Marshal guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Do we know if the marshal would be willing to help us fight? What do you guys
Only
think?
wait a.
Don't. We haven't seen hide nor hair of them for weeks.
Don't you have his contact information?
I don't call him regularly.
They would be more skilled at something like this than we would.
We're not on bad terms with them, and if it means getting
No.
the Sabbat out and getting Damaris back, like
Okay, well, if we were to involve them, what would we offer them in exchange?
It's the Sabbat.
I don't think they're going to take that on its own merits.
why don't we
We'd
offer
have
him
to
this
find out
guy?
what they want.
Why don't we give him
ask
this
them
guy?
what they want.
I don't care. We got to get Damaris back, and it doesn't matter what we have to give. We have to get her back, or she is. We're going to lose her forever. There's no reversing.
Well, I mean,
This Black Tree
on
thing.
an added character level, again, you guys have a couple of options. You've explored them, and they're all viable depending upon the levels of danger that you want to put on yourselves. The one that's going to keep you most directly out of harm's way is attempting to wheel and deal with this one and try to reach some sort of an agreement with the marshals. Otherwise, you've got some other options that you guys might need to dive in directly. So far, I'm hearing some decent plans either way around.
I kind of like
It's
the
hard to
idea of the
settle on
marshals. Yeah, I kind of like the idea of still burning the other places down, but involving the marshals.
Yeah,
What
the
do
Fine.
marshals have to offer? I'm not familiar with them. What do they offer?
They are a group literally of U.S. Marshals that they have some supernatural quality. They're aware of us and other things, and they actually
Help us.
helped me out. They helped us track down a Sabbat. So they're on the edge as far as who they're helping out, but overall they might be willing to help.
My
Well-
understanding is they seem to be inquisitors policing other inquisitors.
True, but they must know how bad Portland is, right? They must understand
Yeah,
that.
they
If we-
have to.
If we
It
can
doesn't
offer,
mean well, that's what I was going to get to. Can we offer them something to make it worthwhile? One, and make sure you're not shopping one problem for another.
yeah. Well, I mean, once
gotta find that
once Portland's clear as a bot, it's kind of not our problem anymore. Like we know that the CAM wants to get back into it, but that's a them problem. That's not an us problem.
Yeah.
So
My concern is just Damaris.
if we can get Damaris back, and the U.S. Marshals are interested in regaining order in a city that has essentially lost it, which if they're U.S. Marshals, that should be something they might be interested in. Like, and we're not on bad terms with them. We did cooperate, so I think it's worth a try, because it's either that or it's the group of us here and involving some other people to go and do something, because it's either a few people sneak into the temple or we're going to attack an archbishop's haven.
Yeah, that sums it up. You're right. I agree.
It couldn't hurt to
How about
ask.
we give the marshal a call?
Go ahead.
See what we can do.
Yeah, I'm in
Who's got
agreement
his
to that.
And I'm going to have to call it quits at this point, guys, because I just hit 11 o'clock.
Okay, no problem. We're
Okay,
only
night,
going to
Steve.
be about going 10 more minutes anyway, so
Okay.
we're good.
Thank you all. It was fun. Everyone have
Yes,
a good
thank you.
evening.
Good night.
See
Take
ya.
care.
Night.
Night,
Good
all.
night.
So Ben,
Yeah.
you dial them up. I
Yeah.
guess.
If I have his number, I'll go ahead and give him a call, and I'll put him
If
on
you don't have his number, I will
speaker.
give you his number.
Okay, sweet. Boop, boop, boop. All right. Dial him, put him on speaker so everyone can hear.
Okay, so he ends up picking up. So, Mr. Baxter, to what do I owe this call?
Marshall, good to hear from you. So, we, the anarchs of the city, are trying to solve some problems. Do you know about what's going on up in Portland?
A fair bit, if I am to say.
Okay. So, we're tasked with dealing with all of the Sabbat in Portland. And right now, they have one of our own under lock and key. They kidnapped her, and we know they're going to kill her soon. 1 or 2 nights tops. And we're trying to do everything to save her and deal with the Sabbat. Trying to find out what we can do, and we've got a few options, but to be fair with you, we don't know exactly where you stand. You gave us the peace offering, and we've helped each other. We've scratched each other's backs here. But if we knew where 1 or 2 groups of Sabbat were hanging out, where they would haven during the day, and we were to ask you to go attack one of them, deal with them, would that be something you and your crew would be up for?
I think you might want to have a face-to-face with something like this and not maybe discuss this over the airwaves.
That's fine.
So,
Where do you want to meet?
So you and yours, I take it, are at some sort of gathering right about now, given the fact I can hear my voice echoing on a speakerphone.
You got it.
So you want to text me the address?
I look to Sophie. Is it fine if he's here?
I think we can.
I'd say go to Anzio's because he knows that place.
Yeah. Not here. This is one that people don't know about. Anzio's is more of a neutral place.
As this is all on speakerphone.
Y'all understand I'm on speakerphone, right?
Yeah,
Nope.
no. Yeah, we understand.
What do we do about the informant while we're at the other location?
We can transport him. We don't have to pull him out or do anything, but it's not like he's going anywhere.
We can give him to them as a peace offering.
Possibly. Do we want to head over to Anzio's then?
All right.
Yeah.
Marshall, we'll meet you at
plan.
Anzio's. Can you make it there?
All right, well, I'll see you in about 10.
Excellent. Ends the call.
Okay.
All right.
Let's head out.
So we're going to Anzio's.
Yep.
Marshall's calling him back.
Which Anzios? There's a bunch of locations with affordable prices.
The only one that matters.
The usual spot.
All right. Well, what are you doing with
Oh,
your captive audience?
Todd was talking, but you couldn't hear him, I think. He was asking me a question.
Oh yeah, no, I haven't been able to hear him at all, unfortunately.
Sorry, Todd.
Do
Yeah.
you need to log out and come back in then?
Yeah.
He was asking me something of the sorceress, he says.
So you're saying we should get you the outfit from He-Man and make you look all eagle-like?
I forgot what that even looks
Sexy.
like.
I haven't been able to hear him for a while too, so I'm gonna
Oh, really?
also,
Oh. Well, he hasn't
yeah,
also been speaking a whole lot. But
Yeah.
yeah.
He
Well,
was
he's not even
there.
showing up on my thing, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. Hey, can you hear me now, Jerome?
Yes, I can.
All right.
great.
I've been trying to talk for quite some time.
Yeah.
And that,
Okay.
yeah, I can hear you.
All right, so I was trying to speak to the sorceress, and so you said something about a counterspell. Is this something that you can give to us as an artifact that we bring with us? Because you
No.
said okay.
It is like you have your abilities, I have similar. And the ability to undo or counter spells and such was my specialty. So
I just didn't know if you could like give us a wand that we could.
no. I'm not a Harry Potter. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm a fan, but I am not a wand wielding Harry Potter person.
I heard of this Harry Potter, but I didn't know.
No. I mean I've got a sword, that's my wand, I suppose, but that's not the same.
Well, let's head out so we don't keep the marshal waiting.
Right.
So what are you doing with your captive audience?
Shoving him in somebody's trunk.
Yes, stick him back in the body bag.
Get
Back in Dahlia's car.
Yeah, put him in a car. If Doug is still here, we'll have Doug watch him while we're in the restaurant.
Okay. So Doug will watch him in the body bag.
Okay, we're taking off.
So
How about Doug in
we'll
the
go
car
ahead and
has the
see.
body bag?
We'll go ahead and scene transition on over to Anzio's. I'm not going to make you guys role play through that.
Thank you.
Assuming somebody called ahead to get the room upstairs situated. So
That's Ben's job.
private conversations can be had.
Yeah, I trust Ben enough to call it ahead.
Yeah.
So
Ben will go
I thought
ahead
that
and
was
do
a
that.
standing
by the
deal.
time you guys all get there, obviously he's there as well. You walk upstairs. The crowd is kind of sparse right about now because it's getting later at night. So they're getting closer to obviously closing down. But I mean, he shows up. He's got his hat on. He's got himself a nice shirt, denim jeans that fit just right. Got his
I would be
Stetson
Marcel
wearing.
Marceau, by the way. My face is Marcel Marceau.
Okay. With one heck of a jaw.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's just looking around as everybody is kind of gathered around your collective little table.
How's
This
it going,
is the
Marshall?
first time since I've seen him, met him, or done anything related to him.
Mhm.
So she's just gonna sit there quiet.
Dahlia probably too. She's never met him either.
He's kind of easy on the eyes.
How's it going,
she's-
Marshall?
She's divorced. How old is he?
He's probably mid 40s, I think.
A little younger.
Nice.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Like
Does he have
20
a
years.
ring? Does he have a ring?
He does not. No.
But how many
Cougar.
abs does he have?
Oh,
How many
doesn't he have
what?
like a metal arm?
How many
Abs.
abs does he have?
How many
Yeah.
abs?
Yeah.
He has 6, but
Okay.
if he flexes, he could have more thanks to cybernetics.
Wait,
Since
what's
we
his
know that the
charisma?
thing works.
Yeah.
Oh, gee. Robo abs. His abs are like a keyboard.
But it's also got the backlighting underneath it too.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's real sexy.
He's got
I don't
gamer
know if
abs.
Yep.
that's better
Yeah.
or worse.
You can change the colors for the.
They change with his mood.
Yeah.
So
Mood abs.
he says, "I'm doing all right there, Mr. Baxter. Now, y'all want to cut to the chase and tell me why exactly I'm meeting here at almost closing hours?"
Yeah, get to the point here. Like I mentioned, Sabat everywhere up there in Portland. They're upwards of 15, 18 strong, something like that. We're tasked with trying to get rid of them because they keep causing problems. They keep killing people, and they kidnapped one of our own. And we know for a fact they're going to kill her within a couple of nights. So if we're going to do something, we got to act fast. I don't think we can deal with just a full frontal assault dealing with them because they've got her under lock and key. There's magic involved. It's a big thing. But we know where their main leader hangs out, their archbishop. We're trying to find out if you and yours can go after him during the day. Since you can do that, we can't. But if he can be stopped, if he can be nabbed, like what you did with Jefferson, then we've got someone to swap or a way to get them to give up our person, Damaris, and then make the rest of them leave Portland.
So I understand it correctly. You're wanting a duly deputized agent of the law to tag and bag one of your type who happens to have a heavy affinity for the Roman Catholic Church.
They call them archbishops. I don't think they actually follow that religion or whatever.
No,
but
no, I get there's cultist vampire types.
I know it's a big ask, obviously, but if there's anybody who can do it during the day, I mean, it's you guys. We know you've been able to go after them even at night, although these are going to be heavy hitters. And that's why we're asking you, because, again, we don't exactly know what your deal is, to be honest with you. I mean, you haven't gone against us fully. We haven't gone against you. You've been hanging out. We've been peaceful. But, whatever makes you tick, it seems like keeping the peace and law and order is what gets you going. And, well, stopping that guy, he's one big bad guy.
But you're wanting to put him back in place so you can get your friend back.
Not exactly.
If we don't have to give him back, I'm sure he would be a great. Stuff him and put him on the wall.
So how exactly is that going to get your friend back?
If we have him, perhaps we can use him as leverage to make them give up our friend. Otherwise, we would do away with their leader.
Gosh, could we do what they did to what's his face in front of Trish?
Maybe.
What are you talking about?
An explosive.
Oh, shoot. Bad timing, but I've actually got to get going, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Good luck. See ya.
So we'll actually wrap up here pretty quick then.
Yeah.
But then just to reiterate, he says again, so what it is you're planning, it don't make a whole lot of sense in that you're wanting me and mine to go grab this guy, and then you turn around and ransom him off for your friend. What's to say they just don't cut ties with this guy and let the other and let your gal pal just hang in the wind?
Well, there is
You have,
that chance, but he's.
you have a
I
better
mean,
idea.
Archbishop is pretty important.
We're also not planning to. We don't expect you to be doing this on your own. We plan to raise some hell for these guys too, because to be honest, they have it coming. You know,
I want to
Portland
burn their havens down.
Portland needs to be. It needs it. They're a cancer. They need to be removed, and you know, we intend to do that. We want to get our friend back for sure, but you know, we also need to get rid of them, and you know,
We just
I
have no
imagine-
way of getting into the temple where they've got her hidden.
I imagine that we have common ground in wanting Portland to be free of their control.
All right. Somebody want to roll to persuade him?
Not it.
Go ahead, Brittany. You got the higher dice.
For
What's
persuasion
the roll?
or just rolling in general?
Well, you're trying to persuade him.
So what's the roll?
It's going to be charisma and expression. Would be difficulty 8.
Well, for Otto. Well, for an Otto.
Are you going to attempt to do it, Remus?
I will if Sophie doesn't want to.
Yeah. I have 0 in expression, so it's
If
not.
you have decent stats there, then I'll let you do it.
I have 2 in expression and I have 4 in charisma.
I mean, if it's intimidation, I can
I
do
have
it.
one more. No, don't try that. Okay.
I have 3 in charisma and 2 in expression.
But I'll also put forward. Does he have? Oh wait, let me count my dice. Does he have a better idea?
Okay.
What about
Yeah,
kidnapping Daenerys?
I'm going to use my free reroll because
Ooh,
I rolled 3 ones.
Did you burn a
Ooh.
willpower?
I
Did you
did
burn a
not.
willpower?
I did
Okay.
not. I will burn a
Yeah.
willpower right now and use my free reroll
Okay.
and try again.
And get some different dice.
Smart.
What about kidnapping
Okay,
Daenerys?
difficulty 8.
Can you guys hear me or no?
I can
Yes,
hear
I
you.
hear you.
You're breaking up a little
I
bit.
can hear you.
4.
You got
You
3
said
successes
what?
total?
You said
3.
kidnap Damaris back. I mean, isn't that what we're trying to do?
Right. Rather than kidnap the Archbishop, what about kidnapping Daenerys back?
We can't get to her. That's the problem. She's behind wards.
And the Archbishop's not behind wards?
Hmm. I mean, he
You
could
really
be.
think So Daenerys is more important than the Archbishop?
Well, the location, because he's
Yeah.
not from that. He's not from that town, right? The Archbishop is like visiting.
Yeah.
No.
All right, so it's possible that the haven that he's staying at is maybe not as protected as this place, which is like whoever
It's like a
lives
temporary house. You know, like
Yeah,
he moved in like to an Airbnb of this abandoned apartment complex.
Yeah, you have a good point though. Is that it's definitely not going to be easy to grab this guy either. But we're just hoping that like firebombing the house during the day is going to be a lot easier than trying to get access to the underpass, which is more fortified.
So you got
And
3
watch.
successes total.
Oh, 4 with the will.
Okay.
Sorry. Thank you.
He says, all right. Not that I am patriotic one way or the other for your causes. They don't exactly make me know, never mind. But let me put this in terms I think all y'all will understand. Since you're coming to us. when we do this for you, and this archbishop fella, you give us all the information you got on him and his details and whoever he's got with him. When the time comes, y'all are all going to do something for me.
It's fair enough.
I
It's
believe
for
those.
Damaris.
I believe those are terms that your kind deal with frequently. Correct?
Can I read his aura real quick?
Sure.
That is all we ever do.
I know.
Yeah,
Oh,
we read
favors.
auras.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that too.
Exchanging one favor for another. That's all. Rob Peter
That's
to
the
pay
world.
Paul.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the world of vampire.
4. Okay. He seems pretty serious in his intent, but otherwise he's very cool and pretty difficult to read.
Okay.
Sure call, Sophie.
I hate this part of the job.
I mean, I'm for it because it's Damaris.
Agreed.
Can I use presence and like try to?
I don't think he's susceptible to that.
No.
I also probably don't want to.
Something
You probably
tells
also-
me.
What? So, if you're wanting to use presence, what are you wanting to do, Henri?
Drop off.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he accidentally
Yeah,
dropped
he
off. So you say you agree. So he looks around, everybody assembled. He says, I'm holding every one of you in this room. And every one of you vampire types that call this city home, you are going to owe this favor.
One singular favor?
One singular favor. Job for a job.
Okay.
Damaris is going to step out of the room when he says that.
Oh,
Sansa?
Sansa's
No, sorry. Sansa's going to, because she's not a vampire. Like, this isn't her friend. Just realistically speaking.
Okay, so I mean, when she does that, he stops and he says, "It looks like you do not have all your ducks in a row there, Miss Sophie."
Sorry, I didn't mean to ruin that for you guys, but
You said all the vampires in the city.
I said everyone in this room and all the vampires in the city.
I didn't hear the first part. I just heard the vampires in the city part.
Back again.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
I actually am needing to go too.
So then at that point, then
It's a good cliffhanger to start.
Yeah.
just
So
to
then
leave
at
off
that
with.
point, he says, "You're undecided. So I will give you." He looks at his watch. I'll give you 2 hours to decide.
Okay. Sounds fair.
Are you guys?
And he
Maybe we
steps out.
can. He can go downstairs and eat some dinner and come on back up.
They're cleaning up.
Oh yeah, no, he's leaving. We're gonna call it there at this point because we've slowly started to lose people. We've got net connections and other people got to go. So thank you guys for playing. And for those of you who tuned in, our next game is going to be tomorrow night. Our superhero game we're going to be playing. Tune in at 6 p.m. to find out just what happened now in the 3rd season of Modern Age Heroes. And our next game after this is going to be Blood Ties, which will be actually no, because we have an event. That's right. So we're not going to have Blood Ties next Saturday because we have some of us have an event. We're going to be helping out some kids at an event, foster kids. So it should be a lot of fun there. So then the next round of games for this will be March 3rd and 4th. So hopefully we'll see you guys in. Tune in, same bat time, same bat channel. Good night, guys.
Night, everybody. Au
Good
revoir.
night.
In the street.